What's more frustrating, being born without legs or being a black man in America?
Ooh, that's a good one because they actually are close to being equal.
Tosh Show! Tosh Show. Tosh Show for show. Welcome to Tosh Show. Another episode. How you doing, Eddie?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. You got any cool new vids I need to check out?
No videos this week.
Huh? Your only job is to give me one interesting video that I may have missed that has slipped through the cracks that I didn't see, and there's none this week. Well, that's the beauty of Tosh Show. Apparently, some weeks, no videos. So, anything going on in the world that I need to know about?
No.
All right. Well, I'm caught up. Let's talk sports. Got my favorite Paralympian on today, and I'm excited about that. Let me tell you something about U.S. athletes that compete under a different country's flag. This happens all the time because they're not good enough to compete under the American flag. They don't make the team, so they go to another country. I want you to know that you're a traitor, okay? And that I pray that you get injured. And then you find out how great the U.S. healthcare system really is. I'm only half joking. I understand why U.S. athletes, go to other countries. It's a great opportunity, but I just think I don't know, it's not, I'm always like, they're Americans. Here's my stance. Like on California, you know how long you have to live in California before you're supposed to get a California driver's license? 10 days. Don't look it up, Eddie. I've already done it. And let me tell you something. These people that come here live here 10 years and refuse to get a license because they don't want to pay the high insurance, car insurance, all of that nonsense, registration. It's a mess. So I don't really believe the number of the people that actually live here is way higher. Don't even get me started on the illegals. For the record, I love illegals. Oh, that's how I feel about tennis players. All these Russians, they all grew up in South Florida. They all trained in South Florida at tennis academies in Florida. I think if you play tennis in Florida for 10 days, you're now a U.S. citizen. This is where I'm just tired of all these other countries getting credit for these great athletes that only became great athletes because they trained in America. I think it's a decent point. I think I can actually get some of my red state Republican fans to get behind me on this. In 2028, the Olympics are here in LA. I'm kind of excited to see what happens. Our freeway burnt down last week, so I can only imagine how flawless building these Olympic villages is going to go. I also want to compete. In 2028, I'll be 53. I want to compete in surfing. Now, I'm certainly not a professional surfer, but there's got to be some, Jamaican bobsled type scenario where there's a country that would let me compete, and I don't know what the qualifying is to get into surfing in the Olympics, but this is what I need to happen. So, I was born in Germany, Macintosh, shortened to Tosh. I think my family was in Ireland at some point. I think they changed the name and fled the country. I don't know what they did, probably something awful. Doesn't matter. Find a country, some landlocked hellhole, and then I'll be your flag bearer. Well, I certainly want to do the opening ceremony. That's my favorite part of the opening ceremony is the small countries that have like 2 people or 1 person competing.
It's great.
It's always in some event that nobody gives a shit about. By the way, the Olympics, the Summer Games should have 2 events. It should just have running and jumping. The end. That should be the Olympics. We don't need every year. Oh, did you hear that they're adding touch wiffle ball? No, I didn't hear about touch wiffle ball. But by the way, and running fine. Running should be in the Olympics because it makes sense. But running in general is the dumbest thing on the planet. I honestly can't think of anything worse. You're a runner, Eddie.
I mean, I used to. Now the knees are killing me.
You ever had runner's high?
No, I've never run that far.
People talk about runner's high like it's a good thing. You know what else gets you high? Fentanyl. I don't do that either.
Fentanyl.
Does fentanyl get you high, right?
Oh yeah.
I think that's the thing, yeah.
Running's never been my thing. That's why I'm so inspired by today's guest. A world-class sprinter would never be something that interests me, but he's overcome so many obstacles. I mean, I'm a tall, handsome, successful, straight white male. The only obstacles I've ever had to deal with are my in-laws. Blake was born without legs. He has a built-in excuse to never run. He's going against God's will. God's plan for Blake was to be a couch potato or a fancy throw pillow. Enjoy. Tosh Show. My guest today is an 8-time track and field medalist, world record holder, and my favorite sprinter with no legs. Please welcome Blake Leeper.
Tosh, thank you so much. Your favorite sprinter without legs. I love that title. I love
Listen,
it.
I want you to know that I have a lot of black friends without legs.
Yes, yes. I'm sure it's like an ample amount, and I'm your favorite one out of all of them.
Well, yeah, most of them don't run. I mean, what are the odds that your name is Leeper?
I know, right? Born without legs, last name Leeper.
That's just weird.
Yeah, I know.
That's always how it is.
Sense of humor.
My name's John White. By the way, I should definitely start by thanking you for your service to our country.
No, I'm not military.
Okay, all right.
Stolen valor.
That is my fault.
I am not military.
You didn't serve in Vietnam.
I did not. I was not in Nam. You'd be surprised how many people think that I was military.
You were in Vietnam. Well, because I mean, black people don't age. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't want to guess how old you were. That's okay. So you were. Our research is horrible. Blake, this is my first question I ask all my guests.
Yeah.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes, I would say I do believe in ghosts.
Honestly, gun to your head, you believe in ghosts.
Yes, I do believe in ghosts.
Really?
Yes, I do. I've felt them tickle my feet at night. But I'm joking.
No, you don't believe in ghosts.
Yes, I do. No, I do.
You really
Ghosts, spirits. I don't know if it's ghosts or it's spirits. You know,
It's nothing.
Something that's like floating around.
No,
us
there's nothing.
that we can't see, but we
Yes,
feel.
no, we don't feel anything.
Right? Don't you feel something?
No,
You ever,
never.
like, all the stories and everything.
Could care less about the stories. Couldn't care less. Where were you born?
Yeah, I was born in Kingsport, Tennessee, like 60 miles east of Knoxville, Tennessee. For people who don't know, born with congenital birth defect, fibula hemimelia. So the day that I was born, the doctors basically told my parents, my mother and father, that I was never going to walk or run a day in my life. My legs didn't develop. I didn't grow anything basically below my knees. I have my knee joints, but I'm missing my calf muscles and my ankles and my feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a blow.
That's
because this is, I don't know, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 33 now.
Okay. So, I mean, they didn't know this until you were delivered.
Right. Till I was delivered, took me into the ICU, came back and had the conversation with my mother and father. Mr. and Mrs. Leeper, I'm sorry, but your baby boy Blake is born missing both of his legs. You know, he's never gonna walk, he's never gonna jump, he's gonna be bound in a wheelchair his whole life. And so, like, it was, I would say, initially a blow to my family. To be,
Of course.
Yeah, it definitely was a blow to my family.
You're a father.
Yes, I am.
And how old you?
She's 3.
3.
Yeah, God, she's such a crazy age.
Well, that means so you did a pandemic thing.
Yeah, I had a pandemic baby. I did. Yeah,
You were just bored.
Oh my gosh, I had nothing else to do. I was in home making babies. It was ridiculous.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
But like you, obviously, I assume went to all these checkups.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And if you would have, like in this day and age, if you would have found out, like,
Yes.
oh, at 9 weeks or 10 weeks, hey,
Yeah.
there's no legs in your baby.
Yeah.
Some people might be like, oh, I don't want to have this child.
Right. And it's a common situation, you know,
Of
having a
course.
child with a disability, you know, we don't want to deal with this. The divorce rate goes up with the parents, like all these things that come with the stigmatism of having a child missing not only one leg, but missing both of his legs. And so for my parents to kind of stick into it, right? I asked them the day that I was born, like, well, what'd you say? Like, mom, like, you know, my mom's as a Christian woman, but she cussed out who'd you cuss out with the doctors? But they tell me they did 2 things in the moment when they found out that I was born missing both of my legs. The first thing, they decided to stick together as a family, as a unit. And the second thing was to keep a positive attitude towards my situation, specifically being born without legs.
That's pretty great. Are they still together?
Yeah, they're still together.
No, they got
yeah,
divorced.
they fight every day, but they're still together.
They hate each other and they blame you.
Yeah, they usually.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to the University of Tennessee. Go Vols! Go Vols, baby!
Let me tell you something. I truly love Knoxville as a city.
Yes. Isn't it great? We call it Knox Vegas. Yes.
Were you an athlete at the University of Knoxville or University of Tennessee?
No, I wasn't. So I did play basketball and baseball growing up as a kid, but once I went to University of Tennessee, I was just kind of focusing on my studies. I was pre-med, applied physics, so I wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon. That was altered, obviously, once I got the running blades. So I got the running prosthetic blades in college, started competing competitively, and became one of the fastest Paralympic runners in the world within a year.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, yeah.
What am I supposed to say? Abled?
Yeah, so it's interesting because I am technically a disabled man. So I am a man with a disability, and to compare it against people that have their legs, I say able-bodied runners, or somebody that is able-bodied. But it's kind of interesting that I am labeled as disabled, but I'm faster than you. So
you think you're faster than me. You don't know. I've never actually exerted like my full force, so I have no idea how fast I could go.
I mean, as a white man with those type of glasses and that outfit, I guarantee you that I am.
You think that doesn't? You can't. I'm not bound by a sweater and glasses. I didn't pick the sweater out. The glasses help me read because I'm old. I'm pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I get your 400 meters is your specialty.
Right. Yes, 400.
That's still farther than I want to go.
Yeah.
I just hate running.
Yeah.
Does that bother you that people with legs hate running?
No, it doesn't. I mean, to be honest with you, I hated running growing up as a kid too. I mean, I was missing both of my legs, so I always came last in all the running events. So as a kid growing up, I hated running. Like I couldn't.
How bad were at the beginning of your life? Were your legs?
It was pretty. I mean, it was
the
like,
technology.
It was like sticks, basically. Imagine me as a pirate, just like two sticks, just like walking around. Just
did your family have money or no?
I mean, so they did. They had good jobs, and my mom was a nurse, so we did have the whole fight and the battle with the insurance companies, because people, for those who don't realize, especially in the disabled community, certain prosthetic legs, like the ones you see me walk in today, are considered a luxury,
of course,
and not a necessity. So you can say, hey, I want to run, I want to walk. You send your letter into the insurance, company, and say, we don't care. Like, figure it out.
We'd rather you sit at home.
Yes.
Play video games.
Yeah, exactly. So my mom was a big advocate for me to get the right prosthetic legs with their insurance, just to stay active. I didn't get the running blades, but I had decent legs to play basketball and baseball as a kid. And then once I got the running legs, that was the biggest jump in my career, to where I was just an average kid, maybe average disabled kid that could run up down the basketball court, to now I'm one of the fastest Paralympians, disabled men in the world. You
were born without legs, yet you're considered an amputee.
Yeah, so because I had technically at 4 or 5 years old, I went back and had a revision of my legs, where I had like 2 toes on my left leg and 1 like baby toe on my right leg, and they just went in and just like cut them off.
They serve no purpose?
Yeah, they serve no purpose. I mean, because they was going inside
were there feelings on them?
Yeah, well, I could move them. I can and they cut my toes off.
Could have you left them on?
I mean, I could, but I was getting like blisters and like calluses and on my toes, and so because I was like pounding on them inside my socket so much on my stump, on my nub, that they just cut them off. And so because they cut them off, technically I fell into the amputee category. And it's a lot easier to say amputee than congenital birth defect fibula hemimelia.
Yeah, that's a tough. I'm never going to say that. What's more frustrating, being born without legs or being a black man in America?
Ooh, that's a good one, because they actually are close to being equal. I'm not gonna lie, I get judged double time hard, because I get discriminated as a black man on a daily basis, especially growing up in East Tennessee. But then I also face discrimination as a man missing both of his legs, and the assumption of what I can and cannot do.
So, like emotionally, you're like in a great place. Like you've figured life out.
Yeah, I mean, and I would say I figured it out just because all the trials and tribulations that I've been through in my life. That life sucks. Life isn't fair. So either you're gonna cry about it or you're gonna laugh about it. So
are you one of these people? I assume you are. Too positive, but no. Where you're like, I wouldn't have, if I could do it all over, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I am, because this is who I am. Dang,
but who cares? But I would change everything about myself. Yes.
What would you change?
Every decision. I'm like, well, that was a wrong one. I should have done that.
But the wrong decisions is the lessons that you learned, right?
Don't know, right? I mean, yes, in theory, but I'm still saying I would be one of these people that would want to redo and correct almost everything.
Yeah, I mean, but could you imagine me with legs? I would just be a boring black dude, right?
Maybe, or maybe you'd be the greatest, most famous athlete in the history of the world.
True, or I could be a tap dancer. That's one thing I think. If I, no, I don't want to be a tap dancer. Right?
No, that's not the genre of dance that you want to be great at. Tap is just fucking annoying. It's loud. It's ruining floors.
Just in there. If I had both my legs, I'd just be tap dancing my ass all over the place.
I don't like
it.
No. Did you have a normal dating life?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I did. You know, I struggled as a kid, right? Growing up, you know, being judged because of my legs, and sometimes I even dated girls and didn't tell them about my legs.
You could pull it off?
I could pull it off until as you know, we went home and went to bed, and I could not pull it off. I just was like, pop. Oh, by the way, I'm missing both of my legs.
I was with a girl one time, and she's like, I got to tell you something. And I was like, and I was in my head, I was like, let's prepare for everything.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to act like I'm not okay with this. So I was just preparing. I was like, what is she going to tell me? And then she told me that she had whatchamacallit, a colostomy bag. Oh. And I was like, all right.
That's not bad.
So your butthole's clean. was the good part. But I had to prepare myself.
Did you think she was going to miss a leg, or
no? I had no idea. But I just remember that was like a weird. I know it was. I felt like, oh, this is weird because she has to have this conversation with everybody that she's potentially gonna.
Right. I wear a colostomy bag.
Right. So you obviously, if you're hiding your legs, that's a real conversation. But if you're not hiding it, it's pretty much out.
Right. It's out there. And so most times, especially now, I wear shorts when I'm out and about. And people, obviously, I get the stares, I get the looks, but I've kind of now embraced it.
Were there girls that were into it?
Actually, yes. There were.
Does that make you go like, all right, I don't like that either?
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm kind of into that. Actually, there's a name for that.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, so they're called devotees. So devotees are individuals that are into people with missing like their legs. So like if you take your leg off, they like the whole nub play and the nub action and stuff.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never liked the term nub.
I know, but that's the scientific.
I get it.
That's the scientific name for it. I have because I'm missing both of my legs. I take my legs off, and my stumps that I have are my nubs.
When you're home alone, do you no legs or legs?
It depends. It's just, I guess sometimes I keep my legs on. If I had a long day, I can just chill. I take my legs off. I can function completely with my legs off. Like I can climb on counters. I can go use the bathroom. I can climb on the bed. But I get to point A to point B quicker with my legs on. So
you're saying within a year of you getting your running blades, you became what was where did you compete first?
Yeah, so I competed in Oklahoma. It's like back in 2009. It was like a local Paralympic event, and I ran 100 meters. I qualified for my team, and then by my second race, they called me and they invited me to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And my second race in track and field was in Brazil, competing internationally for the USA.
Brazilians. Scary group of people.
It depends who you ask. I had fun in Brazil. Rio was amazing, as you can imagine. Like I like blink my eyes, run 2 races. I'm on Copacabana Beach, just like as a 19-year-old, and I was like, you know what?
So much thick ass.
Yeah, I think I like this sport. This is good. This is gonna be good.
The categories in the para games,
yes,
are there's a lot.
There's a lot of categories. Yeah, it gets very, very confusing. I mean, you have
because you can't compete against somebody that's just slightly missing something.
Right. Well, if they're missing a leg, then I can potentially compete against them. If they're missing both their legs, then I definitely would probably compete below the knees. And then if they're missing their leg above the knee, that's a different category. You have blind athletes in that category. You have cerebral palsy athletes, and then you also have wheelchair athletes too as well, and different categories within those disabilities. So I mean, we're talking 100 almost medal ceremonies at a Paralympic Games because there's so many. Yeah,
so many anthems.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's funny that you say that because you're just constantly just hearing just like certain anthems in certain countries just like constantly popping up. You're like, these guys again.
If you take a knee during the national anthem, is it controversial or is it like, hey, give the guy a break? He doesn't have any legs.
I mean, most of the time I do get a break because of my disability, but I feel like if I took that knee, it would cause a little controversy, legs or no legs.
The thing that was very interesting, obviously, is that you are skilled enough to compete in The Olympics.
Yes, yes.
I'm just calling it the Olympics.
The Olympics.
Your time is fast enough, obviously.
Yes.
And you wanted to.
Yes.
And then what happens?
Yes, that was my goal, is to compete to be the fastest man in the world. Once I competed in Paralympics and did that, took a silver and a bronze in 2012, that's when I kind of knew I could be the fastest runner in the world, legs or no legs. So I started training, setting everything up.
Did they say that you cannot do this?
No, not initially at first. So at first they say it's okay. I went out there, broke a few world records. I went to national championships, qualified for nationals, and then in 2019 is when I took 5th at the USA TF National Championships against the able-bodied runners. And when I did that and broke my own world record, ran 44 seconds in the 400 meters, that's when the sanctions started to come, and they said you have an unfair advantage in your prosthetic legs.
Do you?
No, are you kidding me, Daniel? I'm born without legs. Like,
I mean, you're preaching to the choir on this one.
Yeah.
But now the height was the big issue.
Was the issue. That was the biggest issue. And so you have to understand,
how tall are you from stump to head?
On my knees, I'm like 4 foot and a half on my knees, and so my stumps are like a foot each. So I would say about 5 feet.
So they said that the height advantage was the issue.
Yes, because I missed my legs, they was trying to dictate my height and tell me how tall I would have been if I had my legs.
It seems like there can be a computer program out there that could figure that out.
I know, right? And so they try to create a formula, but we feel like the formula is off. Like,
what was the problem with the formula? I know what the problem was.
So the problem with the formula,
Asians and white people.
Yes, it was only Asian and white men in the formula.
Right. The formula only used Asian and white men to determine your height.
Yes, yes. And me as a black man, I felt like I got missed out on the test population. Like, it wasn't considering my body demographic, like what my body structure could potentially be.
Right.
So, but
no one goes, oh, hey, I want to know how tall I'm going to be. Well, how tall are Asians?
Yeah. That was the issue. So when you implement me, into this formula that only has a representation of, it was like 50 white Australian men and 15 Japanese Asian men, and I come out not 6'2", but I come out a little bit under 5'9", so 5.8 feet. I know, I lost 6 inches.
You don't want to ever be under 6 feet.
Oh my God, it's horrible. I have little man syndrome. Like, I'm just pissed off at the world just every time I put them on.
So it's done? It's over?
Yeah, technically it is done. I'm back running at 8.8 feet, competing in the Paralympics. I'm still kind of contesting.
Oh, so you're doing it in the Paralympics as well?
Yeah, I'm doing it in the Paralympics too as well. So I'm back running in the Paralympics.
No, but at 5'8", why wouldn't you? Because they didn't have a problem with you running at 6'2".
No, the Paralympics had a problem with me running it.
They did?
Yeah, it was a new rule in the Paralympics too. It was both a combined rule that started within the last 2 to 3 years.
It seemed like some crazy bigwig law firm here in Los Angeles would be like, hear this story and be like, you know what? I feel like taking his side, and let's figure a way around this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've took it to the court of sport. It's the highest court of sport in Switzerland, Geneva, Switzerland. Twice. And out of 2 times, we both lost the case. And at this point, I mean, technically, I could continue to keep fighting it.
Okay.
But at this point in my career, I'm 33. Okay. I got like 4 or 5 years left. I'm still doing things, on the outside. Still talking about it. I have a documentary coming out about it. But for the most part, I want to beat them at their own game. Like, I want to just like accept the unfair rule and just like shove it in their face. And
right. But I wanted you in the Olympics.
I know, me too. I'm watching so their world championships is happening right now with the able body, and I'm seeing guys that I used to run with and like beat and compete with, and they're like fighting.
And
for
it'd be great just to hear all the people like shit talking.
Right,
like that's not fair.
It's controversy. Like I mean, it'd be a great conversation for track and field.
Of course,
like it'd be a great topic to go back and forth. Is it fair? Is it not fair? Can this guy without legs become the fastest man in the world? And it's like it challenges society of being a disabled man and being the best in the world.
Yes, I agree. I mean, track and field is interesting without this for 2 minutes every 4 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody thinks like, oh, the legs are getting better. No. So you're getting faster, but that doesn't matter. In general, athletes over time have always evolved faster.
Yeah, we're just learning more. We're just knowing more about, like, the technology hasn't changed. We're just starting to understand the carbon fiber a lot better and understanding how to use it and getting it in hand of the user at an early age to perform, and better users. So
what about the weight? Is it supposed to be comparable to leg weight or no?
Yeah, it's a little bit lighter. With the carbon fiber, lighter, stronger, faster, springier is always better when it comes to sprinting. And
so then it is an advantage.
I mean, I mean, so it's interesting because things on the able-bodied side for like running materials, the spike plates, the surfaces that you run on has enhanced over the past 20, 30 years.
Okay.
So if these things are making able-bodied runners faster, then the things that's making a disabled runner faster should have the same increase in development, right?
Well, that's tough sell. It's a tough to say that it's completely even. How would I know?
Right. And so, but it's at the end of the day, it's just like it all has the lens that you look at it. Like some people are going to look at it and say, you know, dude, you clearly have an unfair advantage. You wearing technology against able-bodied runners, and some people will be like, "There's no way you have an unfair advantage. You're missing both of your legs."
What's your stance on transgender people performing in sports?
Oh, that's a tough topic.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be tough. It should be. You should say. Here's what I'm going to tell you. What you should say. You should say, "I'm fine with it."
Yes,
I have no issue.
Yes, I am. I am fine with it. I have no issues. I know it's a huge controversy.
Well, here's my take on this.
Okay.
That I'm going to bring it back to you because it's like when people say, "Oh, they have an unfair advantage," or what if a man then just pretends or says, "I'm trans," and just to compete and make all this money in this sport that's dominated by women. You know what I say to that? Good.
Yeah.
Let that person do that. Fine. If that person wants to be a woman to compete and make some money, great.
Yes.
I don't care. First of all, it's a game.
Yes.
I don't care.
Entertainment.
Bringing it to you. Or do you have the same fear in the Paralympics? What if somebody's like, "Oh, I'm just going to cut my leg off just so I can compete against people"?
Yeah, no, it would never happen in the Paralympic Games. I don't think somebody would deliberately
You
cut
think they wouldn't, but what if somebody's like, no, like let's say Bolt is like, the end of my career, I'm going to see if I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut myself off from the knees down and I'm going to compete. And you're like, that's not fair. He did it on purpose.
Yeah, well, if Bolt cut his legs off and would try to compete, I would dust Usain Bolt with his legs cut off. With his legs cut off.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a big claim. That's a big claim.
But I just, as somebody that does get discriminated against, I really do believe in equality and just like a fair chance. So like I'm in the face of discrimination on a daily basis as a Black disabled man. So I like seeing that. It is very unfortunate.
How much longer do you have at kind of the top of the game?
Ah, that's a good
You're
question.
33.
I'm 33, Daniel. And the Olympics and Paralympics will be in LA.
I know, 2028.
2028. So I'm going to be 38 in 2028. So, God, I can pull it off.
I mean, that'd be exciting to run in your own backyard.
Right? I mean, look at Tom Brady made it to like...
Tom Brady didn't do shit. Tom Brady might as well not have legs.
Yeah.
He stands back there and he dinks and dunks down the field. Like, ugh.
Oh, so if Tom can make it, LeBron's still out there dominating.
Fine. LeBron's an example that I accept.
Okay, look at LeBron.
But when people talk about Tom Brady as the greatest athlete, I'm like, what are you talking about? There's nothing athletic about what he does.
He dropped back 3 steps and has one of the best.
Right. He can throw a ball good. And it can move a little bit, but barely. That's not the greatest athlete.
Yeah,
that's
true.
absurd.
True. You seen his 40 before? It's like,
it's just like sad dad bod bouncing down the road. By the way, when you race, whatever the body part crosses the finish line first.
No, when you race, it's your torso that crosses. So your head, not your hand, but it has. That's why you see runners lean.
I always saw them lean. I just thought it was like whatever.
Yeah, whatever. No, it's from your shoulders to your basically your torso, your shoulders to your hips. So you can dive across the line. If that crosses, you're good to go.
Has your leg ever flew off during a race?
It has. Yes, 2016 national championships. I'm running 100 meters, sprinting all out. I go to step at meter 95, I look down, leg is gone. And when I fell down, I just like tucked and rolled over the line.
Well, what place did you come in?
I took second. So it worked out, but it does happen every so often.
I don't want to make you speak for an entire race of people and a sex of people that you're not, but I'm going to ask you this question regardless because I've always thought about this.
Okay.
Running in the Olympics, obviously, I'm talking the sprints, dominated by Black athletes. Fine? Okay. Well, now I'm talking about females. If you watch swimming, winning and losing races is within a point second or whatever.
Right.
Tiny fractions.
Tenth of a second.
Swimmers shave every bit of their body.
Yes.
Everything. Because it gives them a slight bit of advantage.
Yeah.
Female Black racers will have so much hair,
yes,
jewelry,
Yes.
and everything, and all of that. It's like, why wouldn't there be ones like, no, I'm shaving everything down. I'm doing no rings. I'm doing no because all of that is a weight.
Technically, yes, but
no one ever says no. I'm not going to have any.
No,
in running, you'll have facial hair.
Yes.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, the facial hair, the beards, the chains, like anything that goes into it, because it's scientifically proven that if you look good, you run faster.
I don't. Okay, that's not what. This is insanity. I'm just saying, I just can't believe there's not one athlete that's like, no, I'm going to streamline to nothing.
I mean, I think with the force and the power, technically, that you're producing on the track, it doesn't even.
Yes, it does matter. That's weight. If you have all this hair, and you didn't have it, you are now lighter. Yeah, lighter makes faster, right?
Yeah. I mean, technically, I guess yes, lighter is faster in theory.
If I tell you to drag a garden hose, you're going to be slower.
True. But if you're going to win it anyway, you want to cross the line, look good with your hair.
Yes. You know, I'm amazed that I feel like there could be some time shaved off. Nobody cares about this.
No,
is this just my thing that I sit at home and go, I could make them faster? Yeah. I'm going to be the old man going, put your jewelry away.
Put your chain away. You go run faster.
Talk about the booger sugar.
Oh man, yes, that was a crazy time in my life, right?
Okay, so you were just a partier?
Yeah, man, I was partying. I was hanging around the wrong people. You know,
sounds like you're hanging around the right people.
Yeah. According to the Olympic Committee, and
so you got suspended for a year for doing tested positive for doing cocaine.
Yes, I was in. You know, coming from Tennessee, moving to California.
I don't blame California for your fucking
crazy Californians.
Decisions.
There's no cocaine in Tennessee. Are you kidding me? These have moonshine, and that's it. All right. But moving out to California, just training. You know, it was a part of my life where I just couldn't say no. I was partying, hanging out with the wrong people, just people in general. I go to a track meet and I test positive for cocaine. Crap. And then I get suspended for a year, which was just like
because they thought it was a steroid.
Yeah, well, I was running so fast that it's technically not a performance enhancing drug, but it cannot be in your system at a track meet. So I'm like at a track meet,
Well, you obviously knew this, so you were trying to get away with it.
No, I wasn't trying to get away with it. I just thought it would be out of my system. Before I got to the track meet, but I was like at the track meet.
You did it last night.
No, I was like, the problem was I was like at the track meet, like looking like Bobby Brown, just like my jaw was to the left, and I'm joking. And they was like, we got to test this guy. And
do they not test everyone?
No, I don't test everyone. So it's like
just the black people.
Yeah, they just test with the chains, right?
God damn it! So that was bad. So when you got tested, you were like, you didn't think you were going to fail?
No, I didn't think I was going to fail. I think I was going to be out of my system. I'd be good. They actually caught the metabolical breakdown of cocaine. So they actually didn't find cocaine. They found like what cocaine breaks down into your system. And then with finding that, they said, you've taken it before.
And you denied that, right?
Yeah, I mean, at first, like, ain't no way. Then I was like, yes, it was me. I had to go into a Olympic, Paralympic like drug program. And I had to take like 3 drug tests for a full year cleanup.
Was it easy to clean up?
It was, because I really wanted to really do this. I knew I had a special opportunity. Obviously, I was like having fun in that part of my life. It kind of goes back to the conversation we had earlier. Like I said, I don't regret, a few things in my life. Well, I kind of regret.
Right.
I regret that.
You should have skipped that race.
Yeah, I should have skipped that race. But I finally got to tap into my true potential. Like, cleaning up my life, putting down the partying. And then I made the decision I wanted to be great and then put everything down and just like focus on track. And by doing that, that's when things started happening for me.
See, that's good. I like the idea. I've always been just kind of like, I don't want to focus too hard because I don't want to find out that I'm not great.
Right. That's the fear too.
Right.
Like I'm not good enough for, I'm not the man that I tell people that I
Well, so it's nice to be like, oh, if I tried harder, I could be.
Right. And that's what I was doing. Like, well, I didn't try that harder. Well, I stayed up late partying, hanging. And then once I did that and gave it everything, I mean, like dedicate my life to this. Like,
are you faster right this second than you've ever been?
No, I'm not, because I'm shorter. Because
right.
I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life right now, and like so 2 years ago I was the 5th fastest 400-meter runner in the world.
I mean, I assume everyone was doing the height thing as well.
So it's interesting.
It was an even playing field.
Yeah, it was an even playing field. Paralympians across the board lost their height, but because I was a black man implemented into this formula that did not represent me, I became the shortest out of everybody. For example, the average amputee, double leg amputee, lost 2 to 3 inches. I lost 6 inches. I know.
But that seems this versus this seems
Yes, a lot. I mean,
seems fair.
you got to get it back somehow, right?
I think we all know what I was referring to. He's give him 6 inches. All right, fair enough. Hey, by the way, that's a bathroom behind that door.
Okay, cool.
I was going to go, but I'm worried that if I'm in there, that you would potentially shoot through the door. I don't want to lump you guys all together, but talk about Oscar.
Yeah.
You've raced against him?
I raced against.
Is Oscar white?
Yes, he is a white guy, and it's interesting because he's a white South African, and I'm a Black American. But once the whole controversy went down, and I'm walking through the airport with my running blades, and people just heard this, African blade runner. So a lot of people like initially thought I was the guy, So
You
people,
shot Oscar's wife?
Yeah, they thought that legit. Like, wait, I heard an African guy missing both of his legs, and I was like, no, he's a white South African, so it's like you don't have to worry. But yeah, I competed. I was actually the last person to compete alongside of Pistorius in 2012 at the Paralympic Games.
Well, you weren't the last one.
Yeah.
Someone else was trying to run. Sorry, that's insensitive. Was he faster than you?
Yes, he was at the time. So at the time we competed, he was faster than me, but I ended up breaking all of his world records. So I went 40. He went 45.35 was his fastest 400 meter, and I went 44.38. So I ran about almost a whole second.
He's still in jail. I had to look it up.
Yes, he is.
But for some reason, he still didn't get what he was supposed to get.
Yeah, he got. I think it ended up with 13. I think 13 years for culpable homicide.
You think he'll run in L.A.?
I don't think so. I think he might.
Is he banned?
No, he's not banned. I mean, to my understanding, he's not banned from the.
What do you have to do to get banned? Cocaine?
No, you do a little bit of booking sugar, you're out. You are out of here.
Fire 4 blindly into your bathroom. You're fine. Do you have a lot of friends now because of the in the para community, like from the Olympics and stuff?
I do.
Do you need that, or do you go enough already?
I like it. It's just like we're a community. Like we all get together and we like go to dinner or whatever. And can you imagine like 4 dudes? Like we're all missing our legs.
Right.
So like we hop out the car and just like it's 4 dudes missing both of their legs.
The server's like, oh, this is gonna be a shitty tip.
Yeah, these guys, this is gonna be terrible. They expect half off or something. I don't know what's going on.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah. But it works out, and it's just like it's cool to build that community, and that's exciting too about LA 2028. It's gonna be the first time the Paralympic Games are gonna be in LA. The Games have been in LA twice, but the first time for the Paralympics to be in LA.
How great is your parking situation at the Olympic Village?
Oh, I park right in the front. It's handicap parking, which, by the way, you don't have to pay for handicap parking in LA. So I have a handicap sticker.
Wait. In LA, you don't. If you have
on the street
a handicap, you don't have to pay meters.
You have to pay meters. Yeah, you don't have to pay meters, which is like gold.
Yeah. That becomes every spot becomes a handicap spot.
Right.
How come we say handicap spot, but we don't say handicap people anymore?
I know, that's so interesting, right? It's like you say the word handicap, right? Because it's like technically it's very inappropriate to call somebody handicap. We're kind of working on the word disabled. Right, we're trying to change the word disabled because you're done. You're not doing nothing to the word disability, where you're living with this and you're moving with this, and it's just like the word, you know what I mean? What it comes with. But yeah, handicap spot is appropriate, but handicap person is definitely not.
No, not acceptable. I knew that. 75 and sunny out. You go with shorts or you go with pants?
75 and sunny, shorts.
I mean, I feel like shorts are always technically pants for you.
Yeah, I know, right? my legs, my legs do not get cold. So it could be like 30 or it could be negative 20. I could be in Minnesota and I can wear shorts and it wouldn't matter.
How long have you been married?
I'm engaged.
Oh, engaged.
I'm not married yet.
Okay. Are you definitely going to do it?
Yes.
Or are you going to drag your feet? It never gets old, does it?
It never gets old.
Where'd you meet your your partner?
Back home in Tennessee. We grew up together.
Oh, that's a mistake, too. That's a mistake.
She was the girl next door.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
No, wait.
You've seen the movies.
You meet the girl in L.A.
Oh, gosh, the girls in L.A., they're nice. I'm a country boy from Tennessee. It was too much.
You're no longer a country boy. Those days are gone.
Yeah, they're gone. Oh, gosh.
You have a sponsorship?
I do have
Shoes?
a sponsor. Yes, I do. The crazy thing is I do have a shoe sponsor. I'm sponsored by Nike.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
You should be sponsored as shoes.
Yeah.
Because what better endorsement to be like, listen, if I had feet, I would want to wear Nikes.
These are the ones I would wear, right? And so I get the question, what's your most comfortable Nike shoe that's out there in the market that you like to wear? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't feel nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoever pays me the most, that feels the best. By the way, you we're on a game show on Netflix. You were 200 grand on Awake, which I didn't even know was a show at first.
Me neither.
Where they just torture you.
Oh my God! Which we didn't know what the show was until we got there. They locked us in a room and took our cell phones, and then they told us what the show was, and then we had to make a decision.
Well, how did you sign up to that?
Just random stuff in the off season when I'm not training. I like to just be anywhere and everywhere. And I signed up for the show. I booked it, and I freaking won it. It was pretty cool. It was
that's great.
Yeah.
And you actually got the money and
I
everything?
actually got the money. It was like 200 grand. So it's like,
is that more than you make running?
Yes. I mean, at the time, it definitely was. It lasted me like a year's worth of LA rent. So it was pretty cool.
Can you make money as a runner?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you have sponsorships, you have medal money, you have prize money.
What's medal money?
So medal money is like the money that you win when you win a medal from the federations. And,
I thought you had to just pawn off the medal.
Yeah, no. I mean, the gold that comes into the medal, you take it to the pawn shop, and whatever they get you, like Pawn Stars. It's just like
no, all right. So you get a chunk from that as well.
Yeah, and of course me too. Like I do other stuff. I try to be versatile, just not be a runner. So I do motivational speaking. I do a little commercial acting too as well. I'm trying to get more into acting too as well. Just like trying to be that representation just for the disabled community.
Would you be like one of these people that if say there was a famous person that was being portrayed in a movie that didn't have legs, would you be like, well then you can't put an actor in it that has legs. That's not fair.
I mean, it's so interesting because there's so few of us, I guess, in the business or in the industry that's like missing both their legs or with a disability. So, I mean, there are more calls for actors with disabilities. So I'm trying to like step up. So when they do need an actor missing both their legs, I have the reels and enough talent to step up into that role.
Could you be in the NFL? Why can't you be in the NFL?
I think I can. But if I get tackled and my leg comes off, like that might not look good.
It's not flag football. You keep going.
Yeah. You're just like, will that count? Can I just like keep running? My leg is like on the 20.
I don't give a shit. What's the smell situation underneath the sock at the end of the day?
Oh man, it gets bad. That's how I knew that my fiance was the one, when she like took them off and washed them for me, and just like, because it gets atrocious.
Like it's basically like a watch band.
Yeah, like
that type of smell.
Imagine, because there's no air that's getting in, so it's like all the sweat, and I'm like, I would say I'm one of the most active amputees in the world.
Do you swim?
I cannot swim. I know. I mean, I won't drown. I'm not a swimmer.
Right. I mean, swimming for exercise is the only thing on the planet worse than running for exercise.
Yeah, I mean, like sweating in the pool. That sounds miserable. That sounds terrible.
You ever had a day job?
I did. Yeah. My day job was selling shoes at a Champs.
Of course it was.
At a shoe store. I sold shoes at a shoe store.
You ever wear dress shoes?
I do wear dress shoes every so often, but they have the heels on them, and it just like the thicker the heels on the dress shoes just like throw me completely off. So I just wear sneakers most of the time.
Are there any advantages to not having the bottom? I would assume a disadvantage is bathtubs. I assume you always slide down.
Yeah. So what I do is I found a little quick amputee hack, right?
Let's hear it.
So you put it like either a towel or like a washcloth or something, just like, towel something down, and it gets wet
on your butt.
Yeah, on your butt, and then you sit on your butt so you don't slide.
Right.
Yeah.
And then next time that your fiance is in the shower washing her face, she's like, "Wait a second, is this your ass slipper?"
Yeah, just like it's like a butt print, just like.
But you probably do have quite a few hacks.
Yeah, a few. I mean, the handicap parking is just like, a huge hack for me. Just like I'll pull up. I mean, Trader Joe's.
You like Trader Joe's?
I do. Like
their produce is shit.
Oh, I mean, but it's
Their
so
produce
good.
is all the snacks. Yeah, right. Because you're a big druggie.
Yeah. I got the munchies. I'm just no.
Do you eat healthy?
I do eat healthy. I do. I'm always in a in season. I try to stay in a calorie
What's
deficit.
season?
So season is just like where I'm about to get ready to like ramp up to compete.
Right, but what is the actual season?
Like say from December all the way up to August, September. So right now I'm technically in off season.
Do you gain weight?
I do gain weight. I gain like 5 to 10 pounds. I've been eating. If you can't tell, I've been eating good.
No, you look like an athlete.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like 5 pounds heavy right now, like 5, 10 pounds heavy. And then I shred up as we get closer to like my biggest race of the year. So I was in Paris a month ago for like 3 weeks for my world championships.
You like Paris?
I love Paris. Paris was cool. Everybody was just like sitting around eating. And like
they eat so late.
Yeah, they eat for like 3 hours. Like each meal is like 2.5 hours, which is crazy. And everybody's smoking cigarettes. It's just like smoking and eating and
happy.
Drinking. Yeah, just
it's
happy.
like New York City if it was only 4 stories high. Yeah, you've seen the world. That's pretty exciting.
I have. I've seen the world. You know, I've been to like, and this all came from running.
I know.
Right? Like, so I've been to like, Brazil, New Zealand, Czech Republic, all through Europe. I even went to Latvia.
You ever been to China?
No, I still haven't been to China yet. No, I haven't been to China.
You gotta go and talk
to Japan.
To the people that have measured your height.
Yeah. I got something for you. I'm gonna yell at them. Like, you guys got it wrong.
You ever run a marathon?
Hell no. Are you kidding me? Like, that is 26.2 miles. Are you kidding? No, absolutely not. I would never.
I held a marathon once, all on treadmills.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
How did that go?
That's funny. I had like 50 treadmills out on the pier in Hermosa Beach.
Was it professional runners? Or?
So I put a few ringers in.
Oh, did you?
like a couple of guys, like Kenyans that were like just killed it.
Yeah, the
2 hours and 12 minutes or something.
They're sprinting the whole time, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, how is that? Some people just can run. I get my chest wants to explode.
Yeah, it's just like genetically speaking, just like some people just like have that sprinter or runner, just look or just, build about them. So that's why I look at you and just know that I would destroy you.
I mean, now I'm over the hill. Now I'm old as shit.
Yeah.
So it's it's easy. But all right, well, listen, Blake, we appreciate you. We'll be cheering for you. And then, I don't know, I just want to see you, I guess, in 2028.
Yes.
Here in our own backyard.
It's going to be awesome, Daniel, man. I really appreciate just like taking the time to hear my story. I had so much fun. This is awesome.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Tosh Show. How was that one, Carl? I'll tell you what bothered me. How quickly Blake profiled me. The thing that he says people do to him constantly, he immediately does it to me. Judges me by my glasses and a sweater, assuming that I'm not an athlete. People always underestimate how quick I am. I'm going to have to teach him a lesson. He said he could race me anywhere, anytime, and smoke me. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's see how that GoBot does on the beach. I'm not even asking for a head start today.
No head start? I mean, you do have me on the beach, though.
I mean, this is where it's at. And besides, what's better than the feeling of sand between your toes?
Yeah, it's actually my favorite. All right, let me do my drills.
You do your drills.
Oh, God.
Let me do my drills.
Oh, we're going all the way down there?
You see the end? 50-yard dash.
I talked a lot of shit. I talked a little bit too much shit.
I'm wearing all white just so you know what you're racing against.
Should we do this thing?
I'm ready whenever they are.
Ah! 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 I can't move! Ah! I cannot move in the sand!
I did that with a necklace.
What? Oh, good race. Oh, dude, that's impressive.
Don't beat yourself up. No, don't do it. Don't look at it as a loss. Look at it as a milestone. Or at the end of your career. I don't know. Was there ever any doubt? I'd like to dedicate my victory to able-bodied people everywhere. I hope I've inspired you. Representation matters. I've got some stand-up dates coming up in San Diego and Reno. Boyswearpink.com. And don't feel bad for Blake. As a consolation prize, I gave him a gift. Every guest on our show will receive something from me. I don't purchase anything. I just find something in my home that I think they would appreciate. Also, it's an easy way to declutter. All right, I'll see you guys next week. All right, here, I got you a skateboard. No, but I don't, this isn't for you to ride. You give it to your daughter, she could ride it.
Yeah,
maybe.
okay,
But
okay.
I don't want you like going around Venice Beach.
No, I
that
pop
thing.
my legs off and
No,
just like.
I don't want it.
No, okay. Dude. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm gonna ride this all the time.
Not in the sand.
Tosh Show. Tosh Show. Tosh Show for show.